Guest for the evening, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah, the Chairman of the Asian Educational Charitable Trust, Sardarni Kamaljeet Kaur, Mr. Amarjit Juneja, President, Mr. Karun Jodh, the Director, Mr. Madanjeet Singh, Director, Mr. Gaganjot Singh, Director, Honorable Board of Directors, distinguished guests, members of the media, parents, invited guests, parents and students. A very warm welcome to all of you to the second celebrations of Ecole Globale Girls International School. It's really a pleasure to see you all this evening, and I'm sure you're all eager to see your wards perform for you today. Before we begin the program, I invite Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah to formally inaugurate the event by lighting the traditional lamp. I request the principal, Mrs. Brinda Ghosh, to accompany her. May the weather be seasonable. May the harvest be fruitful. May all countries exist in harmony, and may all people of the world enjoy happiness. Amen. The school choir will now sing Dona Nobis Pacem. May God grant peace in this world. chief guest and the other dignitaries to the dais. Introducing the chief guest of the day, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah. Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah is no stranger to any of us avid film and television buffs present here today. Though her presence has been more visible and prominent to film and television viewers for obvious reasons, Mrs. Shah is primarily a theatre person, and some of her most intense performances have been for the stage. Hers has been a veritable checkerboard of experiences, and her repertoire of roles that can turn any actor green with envy. Just take a note of these beauties she has worked in. Eugene Ionesco's The Lesson, Maxim Gorky's Lower Depths, Chekhov's The Bear, Shakespeare's Lear, Shaw's Don Juan in Hell, Tendulkar's Silence the Court is in Session, Girish Karnad's Bali, Aruna Dikshit's A Romance for Ruby. The list is endless. Television viewers will remember some of her unforgettable performances in vintage Doordarshan. Idhar Udhar, Stree, Tara, Filmi Chakkar, Andaz Apna Apna, and the more famous, the more recent Sarabhai vs. Sarabhai, to name just a few. Ms. Shah's forays into the world of celluloid has been varied, and her choice of roles extremely eclectic. James Ivory's much talked about Heat and Dust, Benegal's critically acclaimed Mandi, Ketan Mehta's Mirch Masala are but some of the few films she has acted in. The roles she sought out and played, both on stage and films, shows us that she took her craft very seriously, and she revelled in playing challenging roles. Take a look at this. Merchant Ivory's Perfect Murder, Govind Nihrani's Jazeere, Nasiruddin Shah's What If, Ek Main Aur Ek Tu, and the more rollicking recent Golmaal 3. The canvas has been very, very colourful indeed. Ms. Shah won the Screen Award for the Best Actress in Comic Role in 1955 and the Hero Honda ITA Award for Best Actress in 2004-05. Apart from her acting work, she's also part of the Avehi Abacus project, which develops teaching learning kits for children in schools and non-formal educational centers currently being used in 900 plus BMC schools in Mumbai. She also conducts theatre workshops for schools and has directed several plays. She also finds time to conduct in-service teachers training workshops. We are indeed privileged to have such a luminary in our midst today. I request the director, Mr. Madanjit Singh, to welcome Mrs. Pathak with flowers. I now invite Mr. Amarjit Juneja, the President of the Asian Educational Charitable Trust, to address the guests.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah, Board of Governors, Principal Mrs. Brinda Ghosh, Head Finishing School and Vice Principal Mrs. Tulsi Bhatia, Dean of Activities Mr. Subhashish Ghosh, Faculty of Ecole, August gathering of parents and guests, and my dear Ecolians. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you on this auspicious evening at the Multipurpose Hall of Ecole. A very big thank you to Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah, who has spared her valuable time to be amidst us. Your presence here is very motivating and inspiring for all of us, ma'am. Thank you very much. Second year running and second Founders Day. A day which we all look forward to. A day of festivities, also a day when all of us come together and reflect on the year gone by. On this crisp October evening, I cannot but think of the past few months when the monsoon played havoc, especially in Uttarkashi, claiming several innocent lives in flash floods and landslides that ensued. Nature can be so unpredictable and vicious, but are we any better? A very big question that we should be asking ourselves. Almost every day, we read about assorted scams taking place, cases of embezzlement of taxpayers' money, cases of corruption, where the so-called guilty go scot-free. All this and more makes reading newspapers a depressing prospect. Fortunately, life is not black and white. There are shades of grey, along with myriads of colors, which make it more beautiful and meaningful. You, the younger generation, is our ray of hope, light at the end of the tunnel. You, the generation next. A world which has become smart with all the gadgetry available around us and all the information being disseminated on the World Wide Web, both good and not so good. In spite of all this, the schools, however, will continue to play an important role in developing and shaping the personality of children and imparting knowledge. We assure all the parent body present here at Ecole, we are fully equipped to achieve the goal to shape and mold the children entrusted in our care into knowledgeable, better individuals with compassion for the less privileged and fit to lead the world of tomorrow. Education today has ceased to be imparting of bookish knowledge, which in any case is available on the internet, but a holistic development of the child. Therefore, the work of the teachers becomes more onerous. To achieve this goal, we have a continuous process of upgradation of faculty by means of workshops, training sessions, and seminars. Schools should not only educate you, but empower you. Empower you to change the world and make you into a better person. I'm sure that each of our students will definitely become better human beings. At a progressive institute like Ecole Globale International Girls' School, each student will have the ability to oversee the change. This is the place where the spirit lives, where believing in the argument matters as much as the grade, where the changing section matters as much as the participants, where ethical values matter as much as anything else. We are trying to provide at Ecole an environment where all views are heard and respected. Very humbly, with a lot of humility and pride in my heart, I would like to announce that Ecole has been ranked 6th best international residential school in the country. 6th best international school in the country in the second year of its inception. Needless to say, the credit entirely goes to our team of Mrs. Ghosh, Mrs. Bhatia, and the hand-picked faculty of Ecole. Ladies and gentlemen, I need a round of applause, louder applause, and standing ovation for the great job done. Thank you. They really deserved it. I would also like to thank my admin department who have worked tirelessly to make our lives comfortable. Thank you Nitin, Deepak, Kundir, Mike, Archana, Ritu and all my support staff. Thank you very much. A very special mention and heartfelt gratitude and thanks to Mrs. Devgan, Mrs. Sujata Paul Malia, and Miss Meenal, who have spent time with my little children to train them for the show. They have They've all endeared themselves to my children and to all of us. Thank you, madams. It was a privilege having you all with us. Ladies and gentlemen, before I sign off, I would like to present before you my Ecolians, a volcano of talent waiting to erupt and entertain you. Hold on to your seats and be prepared to enjoy the razzmatazz of Ecolians. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here on this very auspicious occasion and an important day at Ecole, because your presence here is very inspiring for all of us. Thank you. Wish you all a very happy Dashera. Enjoy your evening.
I request Mrs. Brinda Ghosh, the principal, to present her annual report. The chief guest of the evening, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah, the chairperson of the Asia Charitable Trust, Sardar Kamaljit Kaur, the president of the trust, Mr. Amarjit Juneja, the board of directors, distinguished guests, parents, my colleagues, staff members, and my dearest students. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. I stand here to present the annual report of Ecole Globale International Girls' School for the academic year 2012-13. From the humble beginning we made last year, we have continued to grow. From a strength of 26 students and 15 faculty members, the Ecole family has grown to 78 students and 28 family members. We, as a school community, have evolved over the last 11 months. Our core values and beliefs have not changed, and we continue to aspire to be a happy school where teachers enjoy their teaching and students enjoy their learning. We are now a recognized CBSE school up to class 10, and we hope to get permission from the CBSE to start class 11 from the next academic session. 6 of our pupils will take the A-level examinations in May-June 2014, and 5 will take the IGCSE examination. We also have 10 girls preparing for the AS level examinations. I'd like to point out here that this year we have been able to add more subjects to increase the number of options offered to our students. 2 such subjects are history and English literature at the I particularly mention these 2 subjects as they are not the popular choice of subjects among students and parents these days. We have forged ahead with many important initiatives this year. These characterize ours as a progressive school and an exciting learning community. To welcome and help the new girls to settle down in their new environment, we started the new academic session with Synergy, a camp on campus. This was an extremely lively, activity-packed camp where girls got the experience of living in tents, trekking and cooking outdoors, adventure sports, craft and the fine arts. Parents of the new students were very pleased to receive daily reports in the words of their own wards in a compilation called Freakster Diaries. What touched all adults on campus was the manner in which our senior girls spontaneously took care of the youngest members of our family. The new academic session began on the 8th of April 2013. We made our first foray into the area of inter-school competitions by taking part in some of the events of the Izhar-e-Hunar competition at Hopetown Girls' School on the 12th of April. Some of our new girls confidently represented the school. Megha of class 12 and Shraddha of class 8 took part in the Asian Challenge debate at the Asian School on the 26th of April. Sakshi Lakhotia of class 10 and Megha Rathi of class 12 represented the school at the Mock United Nations Conference hosted by the Goon School. Vasundhara Yadav and Megha Rathi, both of class 12, took part in the Turncoat event hosted by the Summer Valley School. Shraddha and Gunisha made a much appreciated presentation of the International Award for Young People's Work in Progress at School at the District IAYP meet at Hopetown School. A team comprising Mohini, Vasundhara, Aditi and Urvashi represented the school in the Young Entrepreneurship Conference and did the school proud by winning the second prize for this presentation. Nothing builds self-confidence and self-esteem like accomplishments. A survey conducted by the education world has ranked our school as the 6th best residential girls' school in the country, boosting our confidence and reinforcing our belief that we are on the right path. We strive to see that our girls are nurtured in an environment of adequate learning opportunities. Leadership qualities are garnered through our prefectorial system. The new school council officials were inducted in August. Megha Rathi of class 12 was nominated head girl and Riya Jemima of class 11 the vice head girl. Mohini Chotra is the sports captain. The house captain of Air House is Arushi Korsi, of Aqua House, Arsu, of Terra House, Vasundhara, and of Ignis House, Trisha. The science department was agog with activities during the Science Week from the 21st of August to the 26th of August. The talking walls on our corridors spoke about scientists and scientific facts, and students waited for the break time to observe unusual experiments being conducted. As a part of our social service routine, girls went to the neighboring villages on World Water Day and spread the message of saving water through a skit and song. Students of Ignis House took the initiative of giving up tuck every alternate week and saving that money to be sent for relief work in the flood-hit areas of Uttarakhand. The extra and co-curricular activity sections continue to thrive, and the vast array of activities made available facilitate the development of lifelong skills. Assembly presentations on topics which go beyond the prescribed syllabi, celebration of national and international festivals, birth anniversaries of famous personalities of the world, and intramural competitions provide opportunities to our girls to gain self-worth and pride in their accomplishments. A special mention needs to be made of our Fine Arts department. The emphasis we lay on developing this section is because we, as a school, understand that the arts address the idea of aesthetic experience, an experience in which one's senses are operating at their peak. In an endeavor to provide the girls with the best opportunities, we invite artists to perform at school, hold workshops, and train. We hosted the first of our Spikmake programs on the 18th of September and had the Chatterjee Flute Sisters perform. I would like to take this opportunity here to thank our two guest trainers, Mrs. Shumali Devgan and Mrs. Sujata Kolmalia, who have spared valuable time to be with us on our campus and train the girls in music and dramatics. You will shortly witness the fruits of their efforts. Equal importance is also given to physical fitness. Swimming lessons started in April and has been a very popular sport ever since. Skating as an activity has also been introduced. Our squash courts were unfortunately destroyed by the devastating rains in July, but have been reconstructed and pupils will resume playing soon. As parents are aware, we have had to postpone the annual athletic meet to December due to inclement weather conditions. Education as Ken Robinson says, does not need to be reformed. It needs to be transformed, and the key to this transformation is not to standardize education, but to personalize it, to build achievement on discovering the individual talents of each child and to care about it. Small numbers in our classes have enabled us to do this, to have differential teaching lessons, and to be inclusive in our admissions policy. We see the results of this policy in the transformation of some of our girls in the short period that they have been with us. Our finishing school classes are incorporated into the regular timetable of the day, and training in deportment, public speaking, and social graces is consistently rendered. I am grateful to Mrs. Bhatia, head of the finishing school, who ably discharges this responsibility. We also believe that in order for teachers to facilitate higher order thinking skills and promote a love for learning in children, they too must have ample opportunities to address their own questions and concerns regarding educational practices. Therefore, teachers at Ecole consistently undergo in-service training. We were privileged to have Dr. Harman Singh of PYDS School conduct a workshop on creating caring classrooms. As a follow-up of this, we have chalked out a positive whole school reinforcement program, creating an ambience of care and appreciation amongst both students and staff. Staff members have also attended the face-to-face development programs and the online training offered by Cambridge International Examinations, CBSE, and other teachers training organizations. I'm proud to announce that a book authored by our history teacher, Mrs. Neerja Thapa, titled The Harbinger Patchwork, has been accepted for publication by Lead Start and will hit the market soon. Our congratulations and best wishes to her. One important characteristic that defines a school is the kind of effective relationships that exist between students, teachers, and parents. I'm very grateful to the parent community who have unhesitantly shared their concerns and appreciation with us and helped us in our process of evolving. Success realized is always a team effort. No bird soars too high on its own wings. I feel very humble and proud to lead my talented team of dedicated staff members who care about their pupils and the welfare of the school. Thank you, colleagues of both the academic and the administrative departments for being my strength. I would especially like to thank the entire Class 4 employees for the tremendous hard work and effort put in the last few days to make this hall functional in time for our event. I also place on record my gratefulness to the management, especially the President, Mr. Amarjit Juneja, and the Director, Mr. Tarun Jol, for the facilitative role played by them and for having faith in our abilities. The academic freedom and Mr. Juneja's motivation is an impetus for us to do our best. Before I conclude, a word of advice to my students, especially to my dearest Class 12 girls who stand at the threshold of leaving this protective environment into the big wide world in a few months' time. Girls, what we wish you to do is to choose to be the best for the world. For if you choose to be the best for the world will be your teacher, and your growth won't be based on speed, competition, or trends. Your growth will be meaningful, challenging, fulfilling, and most importantly, lifelong. And the gifts you have now will be fully realized, and that will be a legacy of which we will be proud. Parents, ladies and gentlemen, I think the greatest gift we can give our children is the training not to be the best in the world, but for them to be the best for the world. As Mother Teresa often said, give the world the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give the world the best you have anyway. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me a patient tour. I'll take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Dasera. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the evening. We are eager now to hear from our chief guest, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah. I would now like to invite Mrs. Shah to address the gathering.
Thank you and good evening. I'm very happy to be here. But I have to confess that when I was first asked to come to the school, I said yes because I wanted to come to Delhi. I knew nothing about the school. I didn't even know it existed. It just shows that I haven't been here very long, for a very, very long time. And I really, really miss you and was very happy to have this opportunity to come and be part of this wonderful evening. Having come here, of course, I'm most intrigued by this school because it is in such a beautiful location. It has such wonderful facilities, and there are only 80 students. I mean, how amazing is that? I haven't been to a school where this kind of contact between teacher and student is possible. So I am sure you girls are making the best of this. It's quite an extraordinary experience. Probably you will never get it again in your lifetime. So thank you again for having me here. As I said, I love coming to Doon. Doon is very much, it feels very much like home to me. And is a place connected with youth and growth, both of which are extremely wonderful to be around when you get to be my age. So thank you for having me. And I'm going to keep this brief. I know how easy it is to become bored with this kind of an occasion. I have attended many on that side, so I know what I'm talking about. So I will keep it brief. And I will try not to be preachy, but I don't promise. Okay, I was wondering what I could talk about today. Something that you girls might like to hear and your parents can put up with and your teachers can tolerate for a bit. And of course, the thought that women in this country have been having a pretty tough time, quite obviously last year, made me think that, I should talk about something to do with women. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you a lecture on the position of women or anything like that. But what I would like to do is to talk about the women in my life. I've been extraordinarily fortunate to have a bunch of most entertaining, enigmatic, dramatic, rebellious, wonderful, loving women in my life. My mother, of course, but my aunts, my mother's friends, the women I grew up with. So I thought I'd talk to you about the lessons I learned from them or they conveyed to me. The first lesson, I think, was a lesson in rebellion. All of us love to rebel, and at your age, definitely, that is very, very much part of your life. The need to make your own statement, to become yourself. And my mother and her older sister, Shanta, were great examples. So, Shanta was engaged to be married at 13 and didn't want to be married, she wanted to study. So she told her father so, and her father threw a fit, and the whole family threw a fit and said, of course not, girls get married at 13, you get married at 13. So she went across to the boy she was supposed to marry and told him, I don't want to marry you, I want to study. And this poor lad couldn't do very much, he was about 15 himself. And his father took her back to her father and said, look, you look out for your daughter, she doesn't want to be married, are you sure you want to push her? So finally Shanta managed to convince everyone that she shouldn't be married off and that she should be allowed to study. But not before pulling one dramatic gesture of protest. She used to have a very long, very thick plait of hair. So one night, she took the plait and she chopped it off and said, now try and marry me off. Her parents were appalled, but they put up with it. They had to. And then came along my mother, who decided that she wanted to rebel some more. And she wanted to do something even more dramatic. She wanted to act. And I'm talking about the late 1930s. She came from a very traditional Gujarati family. They didn't know what to make of her. But she hung in there and she managed to find a way to become an actress. And stayed on all her life. And it gave her great joy and great meaning. So, my early lessons were in rebellion. And of course, at that time, I couldn't think of rebelling about much more else than being allowed to stay out later than 6 o'clock or 7. Or, be allowed to wear a dress shorter than my dad approved of. So these were the kind of rebellions then, but all through my life, I've learned that one has to pick one's rebellions. And if you can do that, then it gives you something to live for and can make your life feel very exciting as it goes along. So, lessons in rebellion. Then came lessons in dreaming. Because both my ma and my masi imagined more for themselves than what was immediately possible. So lessons in dreaming. To want to be more than you think you can be. That is a gift that if you are given or you are lucky to get, can be absolutely life-sustaining. It has been for me, certainly. And my mother had a friend called Elizabeth Gorba. Auntie Elizabeth was a German woman married to a Kashmiri living in Delhi, ran a small school in her home and taught all the kids that she knew, her maid's kids and her cook's kids and Indira Gandhi's kids because they also happened to be around and so on. So there was this great eclectic bunch of kids learning together, learning through play, learning about life, learning about different experiences of life. And Auntie Elizabeth saw potential in everyone, in every child. And she conveyed that to you. She made you see potential in yourself. She certainly helped me to dream. But I also realized that dreaming is a very, very dangerous activity. It's extremely seductive and so enjoyable. I mean, you can just dream. And you quite forget that a lot of effort is required to make those dreams come true. So, I learned that the hard way, that the effort is the key. And then I discovered that not all your dreams come true. That is also a lesson that women in my life taught me. I have an aunt, Sudha. Sudha has had very few of her dreams come true, but it didn't let her become bitter. She learned to accept what she was and what her life was, and she learned to give. She learned to enjoy what she was, and she really has been the bedrock for my entire family. Then there was Sitabai, the maid who worked for us while I was a child and looked after us. Sitabai had been treated badly by her husband, like all the women we know of that class. Left alone a single mother with a daughter, and she dared to dream for herself and for her daughter. And she taught me that everyone can and has the right to dream, but not all one's dreams come true. And yet, the fun is in the process of trying to get to your dreams. The journey is the exciting bit. I really wanted to be a very famous, wonderful actress. But I know that when the books on acting are written in this country, my name may not figure in them. But, you know, the whole process has been such fun that the end really does not matter. So, lessons in accepting, lessons in realizing that you may not get what you want, and yet how to keep connecting, keep wanting more. So, lessons of that sort. And then finally, lessons in beauty. So many women in my life conveyed that to me. How to appreciate beauty in art and music and dance and acting and literature and relationships. But they also taught me how I can help create beauty. In my home, in my person, in the clothes I wear, in the language I speak, in the thoughts I have, in the way in which I relate to other people. I myself can create beauty. So, lessons in beauty. And finally, lessons in love. I've been very fortunate. I've been loved unconditionally by some wonderful people, a lot of them women. And I'm even luckier that I've had to deal with very little meanness in my life. I can therefore pass it on. And I realize that that really is what matters in the very, very long run. It's too early for you to understand what I'm saying, but if it stays with you somewhere, you may realize the truth behind what I'm saying when you're a little older maybe. So lessons in loving and realizing that there are various kinds of love. And the Hindi films give you the worst aspect of it, so don't trust those films one little bit, please. So, but there's so many kinds of love, and the most wonderful love is, of course, for the people you live with, the people you have in your life, but love for your work. If you can find work that you love, you will never be unhappy, no matter what your condition may be. You will always find a way if you find love for your work. I really hope and pray that you will have that in your lives, and that you will be able to grow up and be the best you can and be the best for your world. Thank you for having me here. I've really enjoyed being here. I wish I could have spent a little more time with the students, but I would love to come back. I'm hinting, I hope I'm invited back. So, we shall meet again and we shall talk again. Thank you.
Very, very inspiring words, and I'm sure all our students out there will agree with me that they are blessed today that they've had the opportunity to hear from you, and we are going to hold you to your promise and make sure that you come back to us once in more informal surroundings. Thank you so much. Ma'am, we have one more task for you to perform today, and that is to release our first ever yearbook that we have published. It has all our children's work and the beautiful Ecole too. Thank you so much, ma'am. I now request Mrs. Ghosh to lead the guests back to the audience so that we can sit and watch the program that the students have prepared for us.
इधर आना क्या कहूँ
sit back and get ready to be entertained. The opening sequence today is the school choir that will regale you with their singing. Women are the precursors of the new generation, the nurturers and the torchbearers. And on their strong shoulders rests the responsibility of leading the way for the rest of the world. For your listening pleasure.
Help me believe in all that
the spirit behind this moving performance, Mrs. Shomali Yekta. In Western and Hindustani classical music, and these activities form an integral part of the daily routine. All the girls here are expected to learn at least one instrument of their choice. Two of our students, Eugene and Chojin, will play on the piano two pieces composed by the contemporary Japanese composer Jo Hisaishi. Jo Hisaishi is hailed as Japan's greatest modern day composer, and to his credit, he has already won 7 Japanese Academy Awards for music. Eugene will now play Spring. Flying Petals. Let's give them a big round of applause. That's spectacular performance. Coming up next, get ready to get scared, to get frightened. Reminiscent of your childhood nightmares, a ghost story is about to unravel before you. The Haunting of the Hathaway House. As the name suggests, the haunted house begins on an eerie note and sets the tempo of the play even before the narrator's introduction. The play is shown in 3 parts, and at the outset has the audience wondering what was real and what the domain of ghosts. The first scene has Aunt Elizabeth waiting up for her dead husband, Jonathan, even as the housekeeper, Miss Phipps, reminds her of his being in another world. The concerned niece is also ill at ease, for reasons other than the obvious. Her husband, Victor, is plotting to kill the aunt and take over the fabulous mansion. The scene ends with both meeting an untimely end, as is understood by the piercing screams that rent the air. The second scene begins with the entry of Thomas Brent from the law firm and entering this mansion and immediately feeling that he had already visited this place sometime else. He encounters Cynthia Ashton, whose husband is supposed to have been poisoned by him. Naturally, he suffers the same end as those in the first scene. The third scene shows a group of 5 people, and one amongst them, Spencer Hathaway, calls for a seance to invite spirits of the house. It's only when the policemen enter the house that one realizes that the people one saw as characters were in fact ghosts, and the 5 who had entered the last had been killed in a car accident even before they entered the mansion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Sujata Paul Malia, the director of the play, taking the children on quite a journey. Tireless and patient as a director, she strove to hone perfection in the 16 children who were a part of this play. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and get ready to have goosebumps.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to
Oh, Victor, please take me away from here. I cannot stay another night.
Why? Are you afraid of my Uncle Jonathan?
Yes, I am. This house belongs to Aunt Elizabeth, not to us. Why did you ever bring me here?
You are a silly fool, Mildred.
But you don't understand. Elizabeth still waits for Jonathan for her every day. And he's been dead for 6 weeks. We all know he's up there in the family world. We saw them see their door to us too.
My dear wife, we all know that Uncle Jonathan has been dead for 6 weeks. But Aunt Elizabeth just can't seem to accept it. You know, he was so scared of being buried alive that he stipulated in his will that a telephone should be installed in his wall. Can you even believe that? So here we have it, a direct line, Jonathan Hathaway's wall.
I know.
Jonathan was a very wealthy man, and when Aunt Elizabeth is no longer with us, my brother Spencer and I will inherit all the millions of dollars he left for us. Think of it, Mildred, millions of dollars.
I don't want the money, Victor. Please take me away from here.
All in good time, my dear. When Aunt Elizabeth is no longer with us.
Please don't talk like that.
Where is Aunt Elizabeth?
Upstairs, preparing Jonathan's room.
Good. Nothing must happen to her. Not as yet. I have other plans for her. I'll go upstairs for a moment myself.
Uncle Jonathan died at 11 o'clock. Hello? Hello? Who's there? Why don't you answer? Please answer me. There was no one on the line. Victor, what were you doing out there?
Just conducting a little experiment.
The telephone! The telephone rang from Jonathan's vault.
Relax, my dear. Don't you know that I'm not a novice at working with telephones? After all, I'm an electrical engineer.
Did you make that phone ring?
Yes. Yes. I spliced the wire into two and connected it to the buzzer outside. After all, I don't intend to wait any longer to inherit the Hathaway fortune.
Please don't talk like that.
Quiet! When Aunt Elizabeth returns, I'll make some excuse to leave the room. And then the phone will ring again. Perhaps the shock will be too much for her. And maybe she'll die.
I won't let you do this. I'm going to tell her what you're planning.
I don't think you will do that, Mildred. Cooperate with me. And soon, you will have all the luxuries you've always wanted.
It's so nice and warm in Jonathan's house before. I think I can describe this house in the smallest of detail. What do you think of that, Miss Phipps?
I'll get your luggage and keep it in your room, sir.
I would like to have the center bedroom overlooking the garden.
How did you know about the center bedroom? It's been closed for years.
I did know about it, but I seem to remember that.
Okay, I can get it open at 8 for you. How long will you be staying?
Not very long. We'll have the auction within a week. Mr. Hathaway is eager to sell the furnishings so that his house can be sold.
Is that Spencer Hathaway?
Spencer. Yes, he's my client. Spencer inherited this house after the death of Elizabeth Hathaway. The only other member of the family, Victor, disappeared mysteriously, but not Hathaway.
You know, it's odd that Victor and his wife were never found. This house has many secrets, Mr. Brent. Many secrets.
I am beginning the appraisal by listing the contents of the room. Why? This teacup must be an antique. It will cost a great deal of money.
Mrs. Hathaway never used that tea service, sir.
I wonder why. What's this?
Oh, we found this in the attic when we were cleaning yesterday.
Who is this girl in the painting? She's lovely.
I'll get you that and keep it in your room.
Cyrus, is that you? My name is Thomas Brent. Whom are you looking for?
Silas Bradford.
You reminded me of him. But nobody named Bradford lives here.
No, you don't understand. Silas Bradford never lived here. But one night, so many years ago, came to this house.
Oh my God! You are dreadful.
might have met many times.
Oh, that's it. The painting. You are the girl in the painting. This must be the portrait of your grandmother. The resemblance is striking.
I remember the painting.
You do? Well, I must not keep you standing here when you are so cold. I'll ask Miss Phipps to get a sweater for you to wear. Miss Phipps! Miss Phipps! Miss Phipps! Miss Phipps! There you are. We have a visitor. If you are good enough to lend her a sweater. Where is she? She was here a minute ago.
If there is nothing else up, I'll go on with my work.
Don't you believe? She was here. Cynthia Ashton. She looked like the girl in that painting.
Please, Mr. Brent.
I know you know something about her, but you won't tell me what it is. Who is she?
This is Cynthia Ashton.
Impossible. The girl I met was not more than 20 years old.
This is Cynthia Ashton, sir. And this portrait was painted more than 100 years ago.
Are you trying to tell me that I was talking to a ghost?
I told you, Mr. Brent, this house has many secrets. When I was a little girl, I was told a story of Cynthia Ashton. She was one of the most beautiful girls in town with many secrets. But when she was 20, she got married to John Ashton. He built this house for his bride.
I know this house is quite old. But tell me, was Cynthia's marriage happy or not?
Yes, it was. But one of Cynthia's suitors was violently jealous when he got to know that Cynthia got married to John Ashton. She threatened to kill John. The Ashtons only stayed for 2 weeks in this house, and suddenly John became ill. Cynthia nursed him day and night. Very late, in that center bedroom, the room you asked for tonight.
If only I knew why that room was so familiar to me.
No one exactly knows what happened in that room, but many people believe that rejected suitor entered in the house secretly and poisoned the tea. That Cynthia meant for her husband.
But wasn't Ashton's death investigated?
Yes, it was. And the man's footprints were found right outside the kitchen window. But they were never identified.
What happened to Cynthia Ashton?
After she gave her husband that fatal cup of tea, she never came out of the house again. She swore she would have vengeance for her husband's murder. 10 years later, she was found in that very bedroom. Dead.
The rejected suitor? What was his name?
His name was Silas Bradford.
Oh, she called me Silas Bradford.
Oh no, Mr. Brent! You must leave this house now, tonight, before it's too late.
No, I can't leave right now. Please keep my briefcase in the room. I'll be there in a little while. teacup frighten you? Shattered. And the past is shattered.
Poor foolish Cyrus, I found you at last.
I told you, my name is not Cyrus. Only the man who put poison in that teacup would know that this was the teacup I used for John's last meal. Only you would have known that Cyrus died from. I didn't know that.
Aren't you afraid of me now, Cyrus?
You said you loved me.
Are you afraid of what I might do to you now?
Go away, Cynthia. For many years, I thought I'd take you back with me. But now that the search has ended, I don't want you any more than I wanted you 100 years ago. But your crime cannot go unpunished. Please, Cynthia, please. You must remain for John's murder. I shall not let you forget. The Hathaway house. You will relive your terrible deed again and again and again. Please, Cynthia, don't go, Cynthia, please.
Right this way, sir.
The house appears to be in good shape, Miss Phipps.
Thank you, Mr. Brent. I was the housekeeper of Jonathan and Elizabeth Hathaway for many years. But now they are both gone. I still feel an obligation for this house.
It's a beautiful old building, you know. It's odd, but I have the strangest feeling that I have been to this house before. I think I can describe this house in the smallest of detail. What do you think of that, Miss Phipps? Yes, it's that
Young folks, welcome to Hathaway House.
A fine welcome, Spencer. I clapped up my calendar and found the place. We had to walk 3 miles to the rainstorm, and now the lights don't work. What kind of welcome is this, Spencer? It's too dark in here. I'm a little scared.
I guess the power lines are down, or else the family ghost must have been at work. Welcome to the new house, Mrs. Hathaway.
I'm not sure I'm going to like still scared. Aunt Sarah is right. This house makes me feel so strange.
Oh dear, that's the hamburger. Wait with raw onions. Remember, I told you not to have that.
Hamburger, hamburger, and ghost. What are you talking? Well, Victor and Mildred disappeared from the earthquake house, and no one ever saw Thomas Red after he spent his night.
Oh, my brother Victor. I'll tell you what must have happened with him. Victor was an unpredictable fellow. He probably took off for foreign parts without telling the family members. It's as simple as that.
But Thomas Red, he had a long practice in town. I don't think he would just walk away like that.
Brent, I'll tell you what must have happened with Brent. He was an eligible bachelor. He probably found one of the pretty lovely girls. I eloped with her. You never know. He might be on his honeymoon in the Caribbean right this very minute.
You don't believe that, Spencer?
I don't know what to believe. As far as I'm concerned, all I know is that this mantle warehouse belongs to me, and I refuse to be driven away by any old wives' tales. Can we have something to eat now? At least we're smart enough to stop for some groceries on the way.
I'll take a look at the kitchen. If someone will come with me. Is that the telephone?
Sounds like that, but I thought it was disconnected.
Well, it is ringing, but where is it? Sounds as if it's from this room. No, seems to be coming from this side. No, from this side.
No, it's coming from this side.
No, from this side. It seems to be coming from. Everywhere. It stopped ringing. I think we should leave.
Nonsense, Aunt Sarah. Come sit. I believe there's a logical explanation for everything that has happened. The lightning! The lightning must have struck the telephone switch box.
What was that? It sounded as though somebody slammed a door, a heavy door. The door of a doom.
The family wall is outside, but I doubt if any of the occupants are out there in this storm.
Please, be serious, Spencer. Something is terribly wrong with this house. We don't belong here.
Well, I am still a candidate for a Western omelette, Aunt Sarah, and I don't intend to share it with any of the ghosts.
Well, I suppose we'll have something to eat. Come on, Aunt Sarah, let's go to the kitchen. Come, Don't worry. What do you make of all this, Spencer?
I don't like it much, but we can't let the women know that we are scared too. I believe there's a logical explanation for everything that has happened. What's that, Shari?
Shari saw someone looking in through the window.
No. I have a better idea. We lead the ghosts at their own game. We want the blankets.
Blanket?
Sure. Haven't you heard of communicating with the spirit world?
Oh, come on, Spencer. Now I know you've flipped your lid.
Look, everyone, we have to treat this lightly. We can't be jumping on every strange sound or screaming at every shadow. We'll all be nervous wrecks by the morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class. Let us also give a big round of applause to the director of this brilliant production, Ms. Sujata Paul Malia. That's Sujata Paul Malia. Ladies and gentlemen, though Ecole is still taking baby steps every day, there are some young people who are taking giant strides, tracing milestones that will remain etched forever in their lives. Our first batch of students will be taking their A-levels shortly and bidding goodbye.
हम हंसे जग रोए नगरिया जीनी न जीनी है राम नाम रस पीनी अष्टकमल का चरख बनाया पांच तत्व की पूनी नौ दस मास पुनः को लागे मूरख मैंने कीनी हाँ मूरख मैंने कीनी कबीरा 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 आहा कबीरा 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 आहा कबीरा 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 आहा कबीरा 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 जब मोरी जान बन कर आयो देनो देन तुमको दीनी हदीनी हदीनी मूरख लोग भेद ना जाने निर्धन मैंने कीनी से काम लेंगे कर जाना कैसा कर जाना कैसा कर जाना
I hope you enjoyed this effort of love that our children have put up for you, just for you. I now call upon Vasundhara Yadav, the captain of the Terra House, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all present here. Honorable Chief Guest, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah, President Mr. Amarjeet Juneja, Board of Directors, Director Mr. Tarunjot Juneja, Principal Mrs. Brinda Ghosh, guests, teachers, parents, and my dear friends. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on the second Founders' Day of Ecole Globale on behalf of the entire Ecole family. I first thank our Chief Guest, Mrs. Ratna Pathak Shah, who in spite of her busy schedule accepted our invitation and graced this occasion by her presence. Thank you, ma'am. It's wonderful to have you here with us this evening. As a token of our gratitude, please accept a memento. Thank our President, Mr. Amarjeet Juneja, for supporting us at every inch of the way to make this program a success. Thank you, sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to all the parents for being with us on this occasion. You mean a lot to us and we performed just for you. I owe my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers, Dean of Activity, Mr. Ghosh, and his team of fantastic teachers. Mrs. Devgan, who came all the way from Mohali to train the English choir. We really appreciate your effort, ma'am. Thank you. No event can achieve success without imparting sufficient training to the children. Mrs. Sujata Paul Malia turned the students into actors, and her hard work could clearly be seen in the play that our actors presented. Ma'am, thank you so much for your efforts. The students really enjoyed working with you. I shall be failing in my duty if I don't express my gratitude to all our teachers. Thank you, teachers, for working with us. It's been an amazing experience and we all learned so much each day. Thanks to the technical team, TK Agarwal and Honey Sounds, for providing us with the appropriate light and sound. Mr. Sharma and the admin team deserves a big thank you for the tremendous efforts put in to make this hall functional. Thank you, sir. Before I conclude, I thank our principal, Mrs. Brinda Ghosh, for her guidance. It is needless to say that today's program would not have been such a grand success had it not been for her continuous supervision and close monitoring. I once again thank everyone for their cooperation in making today's show a grand success and a day to remember for the entire Ecole family. Thank you and good night.
Sorry about the mix-up. May I request Mr. Juneja to please hand over this token of appreciation to Mrs. Ratna Pathak. Appreciation of all the effort that Mrs. Devgan and Mrs. Sujata Paul Malia has put in. May I call Sujata up here, please? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to say goodbye, a few announcements. After the national anthem, I request you all to remain seated till the chief guest is escorted out of the auditorium. Parents and the students of Ecole Globale are requested to go to collect their gate passes from the HMs at the reception immediately after the program is over, before you proceed for dinner. All our guests are requested to join us for dinner, which is served in the new dining hall. Thank you very much. Please rise for the national anthem.